This is a weekly news segment from the Show versus Business podcast. Enjoy.
So, Mr. Benja, F9, Fast and the Furious 9, came out this weekend, and the box office is on fire. So, it is the biggest release since the pandemic. I think the latest numbers are around 70 million. This is just domestic release from Friday to, I guess, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. $70 million. That's a lot since the pandemic. And that's almost, pre-pandemic numbers for, a summer release, So, Mr. Benja, what are your thoughts, man? Spoiler alert. Did you go see the movie?
Didn't go see the movie. I was sitting around and I was thinking, I could go see and then I had a thought in the back of my head, like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking anything. I don't feel like going out to buy anything. I don't feel like Grubhubbing. Oh wait, there's a frozen pizza in my freezer. I just got lazy, man. It didn't have enough pull to get me out to the theaters, and I wanted to, but I obviously didn't really want to. Sad.
For shame, man. Well, guess what? Spoiler alert, neither did I. So we are terrible. We're terrible podcasters. We did not go see this movie. I literally thought about it half a second. I had to go out of town this weekend, and I thought about it. See, man, go check it out. But I was so tired after the event, the family event. So, but it got mixed reviews, and so that was kind of weighing on me as well. And if I was gonna go see it, my thoughts were I'd rather go see it like early in the day where there's maybe not a lot of people there, so I can still kind of be somewhat safe because, I'm fully vaccinated. Spoiler alert, but I do wear my mask sometimes, and then I think but you're sitting in an enclosed area for 2 hours, 2.5 hours for a movie. It's still kind of with a lot of people in there. I don't feel as comfortable maybe as I think I should, especially in the dark, right? You don't know what's going on. Yeah. Here's someone hacking a lung over there. Just like, oh Lord. You're like, what? So anyway. So I did not go see it, but I think hopefully we'll give a quick review maybe in the next maybe week or two once we kind of get some more sense of that. But I mean, it's impressive, 70 million, man. I mean, do you think that's impressive, or what are you thinking when it comes to that number when you hear it?
I think that was definitely a good showing for where we are right now. I think last year we were getting excited about 14 million and 20 million, and these were like one-offs here and there. So to have something land as big as 70 million, and it didn't premiere in the States, so that's another thing. Usually when it premieres here, it gets a bigger bump, as far as I know. But yeah, 70 million, very respectable.
Yeah, I agree. I wish we could talk more about the movie itself, but I would just say, like I said, I think there's still some mixed reviews, but there's still excitement for this franchise. So I'm guessing there's going to be F10 because I mean, if they single-handedly, Vin Diesel and team is single-handedly saved the box office, they got to reward her for F10, right? They got to get into the double digits, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't leave on a single digit like a 9. That's not even a good mathematically sound number. It's like 9. Gotta make it 10.
Even 10, man. So to the moon.
in their case, probably literally.
Yeah, I think that might be where they're kind of headed with this thing, to the moon, man. Because I don't know where else it can go. I mean, we both saw the trailer for it, and looks like they got flying cars now. They got they got trains, and it's just getting wild, man. So sure, they're like superheroes in cars now. So you might as well be an animated series when you watch this show. So this movie. So it's going to be interesting where it goes. Speaking of animated, there's some new news on the animated front. Smallville. Those that don't know, the Smallville, which was the TV show back on the CW in the early aughts, early 2000s. Looks like there's an anime series on the way, Mr. Benja. Artistically, will this get you excited? I mean, do we need to see another kind of anime show?
So Smallville really left a mark on people, and in a good way. A lot of people really dug it. The down home feeling of a uh, family, local town, village kind of show where you kind of knew all the characters and there was a lot of social interactions between them. So it kind of brought the whole hero scape down to a more relatable level for a lot of people, and they really got into it. And even though the CW's been doing that similar thing for a while, Smallville in particular really left a mark on people and still is something people call back to. So making an animated version of this just seems like the right thing to do. I think they'll definitely catch on with a good number of people, and it'll be interesting to see how animation can make that story of a more, family group centered group of people come alive.
Yeah, I, I'm sure. I mean, like I said, I don't see the purpose of it. I mean, be honest with you, they kind of have that with Lois and Clark. I mean, Superman and Lois right now. They kind of have that Smallville feel with evolution of the Superman story and the mythos.
Yeah.
So revisiting that, I don't know if that's really that what people are looking for, but it sounds like you're right. I mean, there's some nostalgia there. It came out in the early knots. That's 20 years. People get nostalgic, and so they want to kind of see that kind of storytelling. But it's if you don't know, man, that show has some problems, man. I mean, especially the actress that played Chloe, his best friend, the journalist. Oh, she got mixed up with some wacky stuff, man. So it's
Mm,
like, so if you don't know, go check out Nexium, what that is, the cult. So she got kind of mixed up with that,
oh
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of like she was one of the main characters of Smallville for many years. But I liked it at the time. I do feel like the storyteller has evolved. I'll be honest with you, Superman and Lois, they're killing it, man. They're killing it. We don't really kind of recap it, but maybe we'll do a recap at the end of the season. But this last episode was pretty good, pretty good. So
Yeah,
so we'll see if an anime show
Superman.
is important.
Yeah, Superman and Lois is definitely doing the serialized thing. In terms of you see a story play out over an entire season and everything is more connected. And with Smallville and a lot of animated shows, to be frank, you get more of this character building, single episode kind of show. And I think that trying their hand out with that in animation is I think that's a worthy swing. You might as well try it, see how it works out. If it does work out, then you have ways to experiment more with other types of properties.
Speaking of experimentation, new trailers were put out there, man, to let folks know that's got some new hot product coming out to your movie theaters or to your streaming services here in the summertime or in the fall. So there were two that were released. I would say from a business perspective, one was excellent. The other, not so much. And so, I want you to guess which one you think as we kind of go over this. But so the new Shang-Chi trailer was released 2 weeks before Black Widow, and so that was they had teaser trailer, but this was a more fully robust one where we kind of saw more of the special effects and the story, what this could be possibly about. And then the Harder They Fall, new basically black cowboy, if you will, type movie was released with an all-star cast. So Mr. Benja, man, which one did you like the best? Which one you like the least? And which one you more excited to see?
So as I think I may have mentioned before, I'm on for Shang-Chi, the whole ass kicking kung fu. I grew up on those movies, so seeing that replayed in a Marvel sense, with now the updated ideologies and sensibilities from something like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon hero, you know, um, Jet Li kind of thing. It's that vibe is coming into the Marvel universe. So I'm really excited for that. I really was just confused as why they released it right now, before Black Widow. So I don't know. Maybe they already bought the ad time for it and it just happened to work out that way. But that was weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, they show more, and I'm pretty interested to kind of see where this goes. But it does give me the whole Marvel vibe. It's like we started off This is the story of a guy. He's got on a journey. He's got some adversaries. Great, I love it. But then it looks like it's going to end up in a CGI mess, right? A big fight at the end, some CGI stuff. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I do like some of the art. I like the the 10 rings aspect of it, where they're going to fight and with potential adversary that's close to him. So I think that's going to be interesting. But I don't know, man. It does seem like I hope it's going to be it evolves more than just where we see normal Marvel movies kind of evolve to.
Wait. What do you mean? You don't think it's I don't get that. Hold on. You
So
want to see it
what I
evolve
mean
more?
is, well, third acts in all Marvel movies, they end up in CGI mess, right? Just like, hey,
Okay.
I'm fighting the bad guy, oh, the CGI world, right? We're going to fight in this realm, or Black Panther, we're fighting down the shaft into the into the
Right. Right.
vibranium. It's like, why is this here? This shit was good until this point. And I've heard rumors that Black Widow is similarly paced, right? Where there's just like a big CGI fight at the end. So uh, WandaVision was like that, right? They were in the sky, fighting CGI, magic, right? So
Okay.
it's kind of like this
So
is
the
kind of where it evolves
formula's
to.
just wearing on you.
Sure, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess that's just no. Is that the normal screenplay kind of formula? But I don't know, man. They got to think of something else, because it's kind of like I get it's got to
Yeah.
escalate,
Yeah.
right? And then at the end, the escalation is like Wonder Woman, you're fighting the god of war, right? He was nowhere to be found this whole time, but this little wimpy dude, now he's all chiseled and he's buffed up, and he's the god of war, right? So, and Wonder Woman's coming down on the bolt of lightning all of a sudden. So, sure, but it's kind of like I get why you have to escalate it to kind of raise the stakes, but there's got to be a different way to think through this. That's all.
Okay. Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, so that's all. I mean, and I think we always kind of give Thor the Dark World a bad name, but I think they were trying to do something different at the end, uh, but it didn't work. But I commend them on trying to do that, right? So that's the thing. I think, and Thor Ragnarok did some interesting things too. But anyway, so and then the other trailer that came out, the Harder They Fall. Man, excited about this one. Produced by Sean Carter. Who is that? Do you
Sean
know who that
Carter.
is, Mr. Benja?
Jigga what? Jigga who?
Jigga who?
That's yeah. I saw the trailer, man, and you sent it along, and I was like, oh, let me check this out. And you got a great cast: Idris Elba, Regina King, a lot of other black characters that you notice and recognize. So I was hyped about it, and then they threw in there, produced by Sean Carter, and I was like, hold on, hold on a second. Let me make sure I saw that right. Sean Carter, you mean Jay-Z, right? And yeah, man. So Jay Z's throwing his hat in the production ring. I don't know to what capacity,
Yeah,
or
sure.
what, but yeah, this should be interesting. We'll see if we get a good soundtrack at least.
Well, he was. I don't know if he was the music producer or something about American Gangster. I don't know if you remember that movie with Denzel
All
Washington
right, all
and
right, all
Russell
right.
Crowe. Remember, he kind of created. He had some songs that came out with that, and so he was really heavily involved in that. And so I don't know if it's something similar. He's just doing straight production, but I mean, dude, I mean that trailer was hot. I mean, it came out like for bullet, man. I mean, they introduced all the characters. I mean, it was like, I mean, the action looked pretty slick. Uh, the cast, you just like, oh yeah, that's that guy, that's that guy, that's that guy, that's that girl. It's just like everybody, you excited to see. It was, and the rumor is that the story is based on real characters.
Mm.
Every character that the actor is being portrayed by a real life, cowboy from that time. So that's going to be elevated, right? So it's time that these kind of characters get their due.
Mm. I wasn't as excited about it as you are, but I'll keep an eye out for this one. One the thing they say about Jay Z though is that he has incredible taste when he selects projects. Like if he hears a song or hears a beat or sees a play or something, they just say he has incredible selection. So I'm assuming that he didn't just jump on this or wants to flex, but he saw something he liked and was like, you know what, we can make this into a real thing. So I'm optimistic.
Hmm. Yeah, the guy who did directed this, I think he was the music guy for The Great Gatsby, the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio back in the day. And so, look, that was very similar to Boots Riley. Do you know him?
Hmm.
He did a movie. Man, now I'm drawing a blank. It's same. Lakeith Stanfield, the actor, he was in that one too.
Right.
Very weird movie. If you ever seen it, what was it called? It'll come to me later. But
You
he
smell nice.
basically was, huh?
You smell nice. No, no, you smell nice. That one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wish you a happy and blessed day, brother. Yeah, it'll come to us in a second, but he was a music guy, right? Boots Riley is like a collective in Oakland, and he created this movie. You haven't seen it? Very out there movie with Lakeith Stanfield and great actresses and actors are coming out. But make a long story short, you see a lot of these music guys trying to get into movies all of a sudden, and so they come with a different flair, right? So I'm excited about this to kind of see what this guy from for the Harder They Fall, what he comes up with, right? Because I'm really excited to kind of see what he comes, because they come up with different stories. And the movie was called Sorry to Bother You. So yeah,
Right,
that
right.
was a very weird movie, but definitely excited to kind of see it. So yeah, man, I think I like stuff that's different, and I think this will be interesting kind of setup. And I think the things that I'm kind of excited about is that it's going to be on Netflix, so it's not really going to be a full lot ride release, so you'll be able to see it and experience it pretty quickly. And it's directed by a gentleman by the name of James Samuel, right, who wrote the screenplay as well. So yeah, I think I thought it was hot trailer. So you know, and finally, like I mentioned, these are going to be characters, real life cowboys that are going to finally get their due. So, which unfortunately is one of the reasons why black TikTokers are striking right now, because they feel like they're not getting their due, Mr. Benja.
That's right.
So, when you think about that, this latest story, what have you heard about this latest story, Mr. Benja, about what's happening in TikTok world?
All right. So are you are you do you browse TikTok at all or check it out? Uh,
Occasionally, man, it's a time suck, but occasionally.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. So TikTok, and the same is basically true for YouTube, Facebook, and a lot of these other platforms. What you'll end up with is it's not even true of social media. It's true of popular entertainment. What you get is a lot of creatives, usually from black communities, and other POC. They'll develop a lot of things, but basically, these properties that come out of not properties, these ideas, these vibes, these dances, these styles, these tropes, memes. A lot of these come out of the black community, and they get picked up by white communities and really spread about quickly, and basically stolen. It's become such a thing. You have entire TikTok and YouTube channels devoted to exposing where something came from. So a guy posts a video. Next thing you know, you'll see five black people underneath this video saying, "Excuse me, this came from this guy. You can see his video here. Here's his link, and et cetera, et cetera." So it's gotten to the point where Black TikTok has gotten tired of it. So they've actually decided to go on strike with this latest with this latest song by Megan Thee Stallion. Usually now, when someone comes out with a song, Soldier Boy, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, whoever, they'll come out with a song that they want to kind of pop off. It shows up on
Drake?
basically it shows up on TikTok, and the song is there for you to add to your video. You add the song to your video, you do a dance, you do a meme or something, and it grows from there. This time, sorry, Megan, I guess we didn't mean for it to happen on your watch, but for this new Megan Thee Stallion song, it's like they're just striking There are TikTok videos out there where Megan Thee Stallion song comes on, and you're like, oh, we're about to get a hot dance, and the TikToker just kind of stands there, and while the public service announcement message pops up on the screen, I will not be dancing for this song. Um, I will not have it stolen and repurposed for other people. It's
Wow.
it's really bizarre.
Is it that prolific? I mean, is this something that they really are holding true to right now?
I thought there would be a couple people who would break ranks and just like, well, screw it, I'm going to start making up dances. But for the most part, everybody's sticking to it, and
Wow.
no one's really breaking ranks. So now, what's comedy is you have these non-dance meme creators, or people who are like, well, I can just create a dance myself. You have these people creating their own memes outside of the black community at large, and they're just not good, man. It's not the same. It's like it's like somebody in Connecticut saying, "Well, hey, we can open up a, authentic Mexican burrito stand," or, somebody in South Florida saying, "Hey, we can open up an authentic Chinese bao restaurant." It's just not there, man. It's not right, you know. So
Is missing the secret sauce. I get it.
yeah, and yeah, they've made compilation videos of people who have made sad attempts, and it's kind of funny, but it's kind of sad at the same time. But then it's funny again, so it's okay.
So, from a business standpoint, where do you think this is going to evolve to, man? I mean, does TikTok need? I mean, can you copyright a dance move? I think from a legal standpoint, you can copyright pretty much anything, protect you. But then, because TikTok moves so fast, and you know, how do you, hey, blockchain, right? Could you say, hey, this image, right, is tied to this creator, and so even if you kind of emulate it or whatever, it has to be credited to this person. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, people have copywritten, I mean, gone through the copywriting process for dances, and yes, it does actually work. But with dances, you can throw a slight variation on it, and it's your version of the dance.
Mm-hmm.
But so in general, with the dance community, they really, because of that, they really get upset about people, quote unquote, stealing other people's dances. And this even happened with Fortnite. I don't know if you remember the video
Mm-hmm.
game with all the dances in it.
Yeah.
People started suing Fortnite, maybe not so much to win, but to bring attention to the fact that these dances were pretty much just lifted off of someone's YouTube page or someone's TikTok and put into a game without any recognition, credit, or payback to the original owner.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing the community move like this in the TikTok space is pretty cool and pretty interesting. And at least for dances, hey man, try to give credit. I think that's the way to go.
Mm, mhm. Definitely, and I think the comedy, basically stand-up comedians are very similar too, right? I think there was some
Yeah.
big controversy about joke stealing, right? If I think Cat Williams said that recently that Cedric the Entertainer stole one of his jokes, and so stuff like that comes up, and that's a big no-no. Don't be accused, and you start accusing folks. People don't want to be accused, man. And I think that was a big thing around Dan Cook. I think they said he stole some jokes, and what's his name? Carlos Mencina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right, man. This whole theft of it's kind of interesting, man. Creative world. I get it. This. Where did this original idea come from? And so it's kind of like, how as an artist yourself, it's like there's stuff that you're drawn to, right? That formulate the foundation of what you're building. But then what's that versus or homage or something like that? What's that versus some straight up copying you? This is Mr. Benja's work, but then I'm doing it, Mr. Benja's work, but I'm writing my name on it. So it's kind of like how do how can you tell the difference?
Yeah, it gets very weird because you get into pop art where, the idea is to take an image or it from somebody, and the way you're presenting it is the art, not so much the image itself. That's why Andy Warhol was able to do what he did. Um, then you have somebody paying homage to. Shepard Fairey from Obey gets into a lot of trouble for this, or a lot of heat, because he'll pay homage to like an old school artist or whatever, and he'll actually have those artists, in the studio working with him and everything. But then when he puts it out,
Mm-hmm.
people are like, "Hey, dude, you just ripped off from such and such." And he's like, "I'm paying homage. I'm letting you know where I'm coming from. This is." So it gets weird, and it's a social dance that the artists have to do. Um, but for the most part, when someone comes and just straight up steals, and then they get called out on it, and there's a fight, like, no, I didn't, or, I can steal whatever I want, then you're just in bad business with the community. Stores will stop stocking your products, people will stop promoting you, um, other artists won't put you on. It it goes down really quickly. Emails get sent around like F that guy. It's like, what? It's like, I didn't know he
Mm-hmm.
did anything. It's like, now you know. So yeah, a lot of
It's just
TikTokers are.
yeah, man. This TikTok, man. It's a weird world, man. I think people ultimately, fundamentally, this platform is owned by the Chinese government, and so there's a lot of other things that I'm still iffy about, and this algorithm, is getting really good at figuring out how to keep you on and engage with it. So those two things, not scare me but concern me longer term, right? And
Mhm.
so you see things like this, theft of art and theft of I hate to say it, but that is something that that happens a lot, from Chinese standpoint. And so IP, understanding what IP is and how to protect it. So just TikTokers, beware, start to think through. I think and NFTs could be a pathway toward that, and we can get into our future stock check in and crypto check in, talk. But
Mhm.
if there's a way that TikTokers can start thinking broadly how you broaden your base outside these platforms, that's going to be the key, right? And then how do you do that? You need some kind of way to kind of keep people attached to you, and so maybe NFTs can kind of lead into that. So anyway, so those are some of my high level thoughts. But let's get into the let's get
Yeah,
into the future, man.
we might actually it might actually be worthwhile to do a whole thing on that because we're in this copy and cut copy paste culture, and yeah, creativity is weird right now. So, but just put a pin in that for later.
Creativity is weird. Very wise words, Mr. Benja.
I I thought about it all week. Thank you so much for listening to this segment of the Show versus Business podcast. We want to bring you a relevant and fresh perspective every week. So please subscribe, check out our other videos, and definitely share your thoughts below. Peace.